Hi, the title of this video speaks for itself. Some thoughts on retirement. I guess I'm in a pretty good position to talk about retirement because I took voluntary redundancy way back in 1995. And here it is, 2023, and I'm still in retirement. Still living on planet Earth. So what's my advice about retirement? Now remember, everybody's life is completely different situations, but I guess I'm aiming this video at those in maybe their late 40s, through their 50s, and they're thinking retirement's going to come up. I'll stay on till I'm 65, you might be thinking. Or until a compulsory retirement age, whatever that might be. 67, 68. How do you feel about retirement now? Is it a long way off? When I was working in my 30s, I can remember seeing a sign written on a wall at one of my places of work, a bit of graffiti really, in a toilet. And it said this: "You're only young once, but you're old for a long time." And this is true. So what's this young? Probably up to 30, 35 years of age, 40 at a push, and then after that, that long time of middle age and so-called old age. Now, so-called old age is a thing of the mind, I guess. If you are fit and well, healthy, when you retire, per se, whatever that age might be, you have a time ahead of you. These are, or can be, the best years of your life, the most productive years of your life, because then you have the freedom to do the things you really want to do. No timetable to adhere to, no clock watching, no terrible Mondays and roll on the weekend. That wasn't my case because I've worked shift work for 25 years and the days just rolled on. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, made no difference to me about weekends, at least up until I was in my 40s. Then after that, of course, the usual Monday to Friday humdrum office work, which so many of us have to put up with. Now, if you look at your life and say you're about in your 40s, 50s, and you want to change jobs, not easy. We know that. It's often not easy to get a promotion after a certain age either. Because when the people doing the interview for your job promotion are young enough to be your kids, they do not like to promote people who are older than themselves. They feel a little bit intimidated by that, and they often knock you back. They don't know why they're doing it, but they do. So, what point am I making here? If you can, retire as early as you can. Unless you really love your job. If you love your job, stay on, stay on. But if you despise it, if you find it's a chore getting up on Monday, roll on the weekend, and you don't like your job, leave it as soon as you can. Voluntary redundancy, retirement, whatever it might be. Now you might be thinking, I can't afford it. Can't afford it. You probably can. If you've got your mortgage paid off, you're not renting, then of course you've got probably a third to half of your income in a good position, because so many young people are paying off huge mortgages and they don't get them paid off until they're getting towards retirement nowadays. If you can retire, be prepared to take less income. Now you might think, oh, my lifestyle. You'd be surprised how quickly you adjust. I've had jobs, many jobs over the years, where my income has dropped by maybe a third, and I've thought, oh, how am I going to get by? You get by. You adjust. And you don't have to do without luxuries. You just find you don't have to spend so much money on things that you really didn't need anyway. Retirement can be the best years of your life. They certainly have been with me. I would say after I took voluntary redundancy at 59, it took me 2 or 3 years of chopping and changing, working out what I wanted to do. But once I discovered the sorts of things I wanted to do, wow, great. Now I love speaking to audiences, telling stories, writing books, essays, and I did all of those things. Very, very productive. Now, of course, I'm in my middle 80s, coming up to 87 in April. Oh, another thing. Keep fit. Do your exercises. Do your yoga stretches. Do your aerobics. Your body is, well, it determines in many ways the sort of life you can lead later on after retiring. So look after it all the way through. All the way through. If you're in your 30s, start doing those exercises now. Pump iron. Go to the gym. Do swimming. Do all of those things so that you're fit into old age. Okay, I know it's sounding like a lecture, but the point is, I think that the happiest years of your life can be those in your retirement, providing you realise that. And don't leave retirement too late thinking, well, that's the end of the road, now I'm going to pack it in, because you will pack it in. Take retirement as early as you can afford if you don't like your job. And then your life will begin probably the happiest years that you have on planet Earth.